All right, Big Mo, here we go. Attack the Rack podcast, Saturday, July 13. It is time to kick off the weekend with our podcast every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Let's just jump right into this, Big Mo. I have been waiting until we started the podcast to ask you about this. For the last 7 days, it's been Big Mo Phone Gate. You've gone 7 days without a cell phone. Let's rewind 7 days. What happened and how did we get to this beautiful, beautiful Friday or Saturday morning now where you have got your cell phone back?
Well, Curt, it all started just over a week ago. Friday morning, I wake up, phone has not charged, and I was thinking, hey, no big deal. Wasn't in the charger correct. Maybe the charger wasn't plugged in. Go about another hour, and I'm like, hey, now this charger's not working. I know it's plugged in. Try another charger. Try another charger. Nothing. Um, it is, Friday morning. I'm like, I need my phone over the weekend here. I cannot be without my phone. Head out to the Battery Plus shop over in Holland. They got a little repair there, right? They clean a little lint out of the phone port area, and they're like, oh, you really should try to keep this stuff clean, but that should do the trick. Plug it in, no charge. Still not working. So they're like, hey, we can order the part and fix this for you. What do you think? And I'm like, well, they got to order the part. It won't be in until a week from Friday. So I'm like, okay, well, let's run to T-Mobile. Maybe T-Mobile can figure something out for me. That's my service. Go to T-Mobile. They're like, hey, nothing we can do. You just got a bad phone. The only thing we can help you with is if you can buy a new one. We'll give you a couple $100 for your phone and put you on a payment plan. Okay. Don't like that idea. Phone's paid off. It's only about 2 years old. Should be good for a couple more years. Then I run out to a different T-Mobile because I'm like, maybe there's got to be something they can do. There's got to be something. You're paying $75, $80 a month, or whatever, $100 a month. Should be something here. That T-Mobile, same thing, says they can't do anything besides put me on a new payment plan, new phone. And then there's an eye repair shop out on the north side of town. Go there. Guy's like, hey, I can take a look at it for $20. I can let you know tomorrow what's wrong with it and if we can repair it or not.
Holy! So it's now Saturday.
It's now Saturday morning.
Okay.
Well, a week ago.
Yeah.
Go back out there, and I'm starting a week-long officiating camp, so I'm really busy. So I run out there on a lunch break just to see what they can do. Nope. Hey, we got to order a part. It'll be in Monday. Should have it fixed by Tuesday. Shouldn't be a problem. We're not exactly sure what's wrong yet, but we're going to order this part. This is probably what the problem is. All right. Dude, I went out there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and finally Thursday. And this whole time, the guy keeps telling me, yeah, we should get the part in. We should get the part in. We should get the part in. And I'm like, you told me you already ordered the part. And why is it not, but no answers. Zero, just kind of wouldn't share. Finally Thursday, I go back. Thursday evening. Thursday, I go twice. Once in the morning, once in the evening. Go back in the evening. Finally talk to a guy who kind of knows what's going on. He's like, hey, they ordered the wrong part for the wrong phone. I got the right part ordered today for you. It'll be in Friday morning. Friday afternoon, I'll fix it, and you can have the phone by the time we close on Friday evening. Yesterday evening, stop in there about 6 o'clock. Boom, it's ready to go. Big Mo has his phone back. 250 text messages.
Well, that was my first question. How many text messages? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 30 voicemails.
Oh,
Um, and then now and I couldn't get into my, I've got I do a couple of side things. So I've got like 4 or 5 emails and I could only get into one of my email
oh,
because I've got the two-way verification. So I didn't have any other way to get into the verification mode. So I can't imagine how many emails it says I have to answer and reply
oh,
to in the next week. So, a week without the phone was nice. Now it's going to be a couple weeks probably before I get caught up on all the
oh, for
extra
sure.
work.
I mean,
So,
you're gonna probably spend your whole weekend trying to I mean, and how many times did you have to tell people every day, hey, just so you know, I don't have my phone right now. Hey, just so
well,
you know.
yeah. The
Okay.
problem is, I mean, really, you couldn't I can tell the people that I'm seeing, but I'm working
Yeah,
a basketball camp,
yeah,
and so in reality, like nobody really knows that I don't have my phone unless I see you directly, or if you had turned into our previous
yeah.
podcast during the week. So it'll take me a little bit of time to get back to everybody, or why I didn't respond, or why I didn't answer, because usually I'm pretty quick at that stuff. Um, and so I've got some catching up to do.
Well, I mean, and isn't it crazy how much we rely on our cell phones? I mean, you went the first, what, 20 plus years of your life without a cell phone. And then once you got a cell phone, you went another 10 years without being able to use it for anything but phone calls.
Yeah.
And now it's like you can't
Well,
go.
yeah,
I,
and and I can, it really wasn't that bad. I mean, it kept me off social media. But obviously, I do some things where social media is important. A couple of
yeah,
the nonprofit I help run and a business I help run. Um, so not having it for those instances is ridiculous. But like not even like knowing I don't know my kid's cell phone off the top of my head, and
yeah,
I don't have any way to call them because I don't have a landline anymore. At least when we were
right.
growing up in middle
Yeah,
school and high school, you had a landline. You just kept that, even if you had a cell phone, you still could make calls if you needed to. So definitely crazy.
yeah.
I think if it were to happen again, I'm probably just getting a new one right away. I'm not.
Okay,
I don't. I mean, unless it's a couple days. Going
sure.
a week without it was probably um, irresponsible almost.
Yeah, but like you said, you didn't know you were going to go a week
Oh,
because
I know
you
exactly.
were
No,
told
every day.
tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll take care of it. We got it. We got you. We'll take care of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Unreal.
um, but hey, we're glad to have him back.
Yes.
So if I didn't return a text or an email or a phone call,
You know what?
give me a couple days.
All right. Well, Big Mo phone gate has come to an end.
Yeah. So while talking about technology, Curt, I
Yeah.
heard you have a interesting tech story or issue.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I know you, and fortunate for me, we live nearby. Um, I think initially you were able to, with your one email that you could get into through your computer, you sent me an email right away and said, "Hey, I don't have I don't have my phone," and so we were able to communicate throughout the week, via email. And you had sent me an email today, yesterday, about just kind of checking in. Hey, when are we recording the podcast? Blah, 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 blah. Well, it took me a little while to get back to you, and finally I did. And yes, I did. I mentioned why. I was on a 3 hour chat slash phone call with my internet provider. This goes back over a year now, when it just randomly one time I went on to log on to pay my bill. My bill was wrong, so I got on a chat to try to correct the bill. They corrected the bill, and then they followed it up with, "Oh, I see you qualify for this promotion. Would you be interested in getting a new mobile phone and service on that phone, which would then give you a huge discount on your internet? Your total price for phone service on the phone and internet will only be $48. Now, this was $7 less than I was paying for just my internet. And I was like, well, I don't need a phone. I don't need a new service. But if it's going to save me $7 a month for nothing, sure. I'll just get the phone. I'll activate it and I'll just turn it off and put it in my drawer. Well, next billing cycle comes along, and the two bills combined are like over $100. So more than double what they told me, more than double than I was initially paying. And then this started a year-long nightmare, Big Mo. Year-long absolute nightmare. Nightmare.
For $7 a month. I'm going to remind you, $7 a month.
What's that? Yeah,
$7 a month. Okay.
Right. The nightmare has come to an end today. So from that point forward, I spent hours for like the next few days via chat or phone trying to get rid of this cell phone, the bill for it, and just put me back where I was.
Yeah.
Finally, I got somebody that could help me. The best they could do was cancel the service on the phone. So I got rid of that. And then, but I still have to pay between like $6 and $7 a month for the cell phone itself until it's paid off, which will take like a year or something like that. I don't know. And then they were able to get my internet back to where it was at $55 a month. So now instead of saving $7, I've now increased by $7, but the headache of dealing with it has come to an end at this point. And this is, like I said, a year ago, fine. Next billing cycle comes around and my internet bill is $65 instead of $55. And so I get on a chat to get it correct. They give me a credit for $10 to bring it back down to where it is. And they say, you're all set now going forward. And then month after month after month, every single month, it was $65. And every single month I had to get on a chat to get a credit for $10 to bring it down to where it should have been at 55. All amongst the time, I'm still also paying $6 and some change for this stupid phone. And it's not just quick and easy on these chats. They want to know details. They want to know why. I got to tell the whole freaking story every month.
Which you think they would just put some notes in there,
right?
Because they always say, "Well, I'm going to make some notes and I'm going to save these in the And then, but it never works out. It never helps.
So fast forward again, month after month after month until sometime this winter, all of a sudden I get a call and they're like, "Hey, your plan has ended. Your internet now is going to go up to $75. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. It's supposed to be 55. It's 65 every month. Every month I got to get on a chat to get my credit, a $10 credit. So now in reality, will it be 65? And she's like, oh, yeah, that's fine. Yep, 65. It'll be 65. Unfortunately, you are going to have to get on a chat or call every month to make sure you get your $10 credit. Isn't that insane? Why won't you just make it $65? So since this winter, month after month after month, I get on a chat to get my $10 credit. And it's never easy. It's always at least a half an hour process, half an hour out of my day just to get a simple $10 credit. Well, today it was, yesterday afternoon. Sorry, we keep saying it's Friday, guys. We're not going to keep lying. It's Friday. We record on Friday. We post it on Saturday morning. So today it's Friday. So this afternoon, I got on the chat to get my $10 credit. The person I was saying wouldn't give it to me, wanted more details, then comes back and says, oh, your credits have reached their limit. We don't have any more for you. And so
now it's going to be 75?
What's that?
That's good. So they wanted to charge you 75.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so, I mean, I'm going back and forth with this guy, and then he's putting me on hold. The whole thing, it's about 3 hours now, and we've gotten nowhere.
for $10.
And then I'm just lighting this poor guy up in the chat. I've been a customer for 20 years. I've been mistreated by you guys for over a year. I've been scammed. I've been lied to. I'm just giving it to this guy. And finally, he connects me to a supervisor. I say like 2 words to that supervisor. All of a sudden, it says, "You are being transferred to another supervisor." I start transferred again. Finally, I get someone who at least gives me the $10 credit. And now I'm just so mad. I'm like, I've already put 3 hours into this. Why don't I now light them up for the fact that I have to even get on a chat every month to get the $10 credit?
Yeah.
And so I'm just, and then finally he's like, all right, I will have somebody from whatever team give you a call to work this out.
Yeah.
And literally within 2 minutes, I get a call. And this poor guy, he's like, "So how may I help you today?" I'm like, "What do you mean, how can you help me?
No.
I'm not the one that called you. You called me. They told, the person I was chatting with had you call me.
Said, hey.
So do I literally need to start from scratch with you?" And he's like, "Yes, sir. I'm sorry." So I tell him the entire story. I am heated. I am intense. And I've even used some inappropriate language with this poor guy. And he's trying to get me to stop because I think he's trying to tell me that he can fix the problem, but I just keep going.
Let it all out.
And finally I get to the end and all of a sudden he's like, "Okay, so here's what I've done for you. I've now adjusted your bill, so it's going to be $35 a month."
Oh, nice.
He's like, "I just need to text you this thing for you to confirm. And it's for the next 12 months, it's going to be $35 a month."
Hey, there you go.
So $30 less a month now. And I don't have, more important to me than the money, honestly, at this point, is just knowing that next month and the month after that,
you don't have to,
and the month after that, I don't have to go through trying to get on a chat and trying to get my $10 credit.
Yeah. Hey. That's, I guess, it worked out for you this time. I don't know. It probably all balanced out though in the financial world of they took enough from you now and giving you a little bit back. So
true, good point. So I went from like giving this guy the riot act to this guy being my hugest fan. He probably was like, "Ease up, man." I was telling him how much I appreciated him.
Probably should get his number and name and call him the next time you need something.
I know, I thought about that, but I don't know if they do that. But
yeah, you never know.
So
text him back.
Now, literally, fingers crossed. Let's make sure next month. But I do have a statement that shows, all the credits to bring it down to 35. So
yeah. But they might put you back on that phone call next month, Curt.
Oh. And the thing is like, well, why don't you just cancel Curt and start from scratch? Because literally, even at that $75 rate, that's cheaper than any plans they have.
Yeah.
So for, as much as I hated getting on this chat every month, even if they said, "No, we're not giving you the credit," like to keep my rate at 75 is still better than
what they
canceling and trying to get on a new plan because none of their plans are that cheap. So, but you know how it is in our market. This company has a monopoly. We don't have any other options really.
Will that change with when they do the broadband?
I'm not sure.
No, neither am I.
What a blessing it would be because wow. So
nice for the city.
Yeah. So anyway, we both had some technology struggles here. Yours much worse than mine. So
those phone calls are awful to sit on for 30 minutes, half hour, whatever, the 3 hours. Screw that.
Yeah. So, but hey, you did mention how you were officiating this week. So just so everyone knows out there, we have side hustles, right? We do other things other than our sports media company here. We do have some side hustles. One of your side hustles is teaching. And because you're a teacher, you have the luxury of having your summers off. You stay incredibly busy in the summer, maybe even busier during the summer than you are during the school year. Sometimes it seems like that. But one thing you do is you do some officiating, basketball, high school basketball at scrimmages, team camps, or whatever. So that is all done now, right? Or do you have it one more day?
One more day, one more
Okay.
half day,
So
half day.
you're half day. So you're wrapping it up. How did it go this week?
It was good. Quiet week. Probably one of the quietest. I've been doing this gig for about 23 summers,
Wow.
one full week. But it's been a little bit lighter load because they've changed the schedule a little bit. So yeah, nothing crazy. And actually, it's always usually a good time to get to see kind of some of the coaches become repeat. Some of the players even are 2, 3, 4 year type players. So even
Yeah.
you get to know them a little bit during that week or half week.
So you get to
Um,
prove.
yeah, and you just get to see them grow and change as players. So
Yeah.
it's always fun. Always usually there's one or two really good kind of stories, coaches or players kind of getting
Yeah.
maybe going over the line with officials, and it's actually been a pretty quiet week. I think the worst. Every time I do this, there's always the one coach that's like, "Hey, it's 0 to 10, and how come we can't get a foul?" Or it's 5-0 in fouls,
Ugh.
and I get it,
Tell
obviously,
your team to stop fouling then.
yeah, or you guys are playing more physical and
Yeah.
probably should have even more fouls. It's as a coach, it's a good reminder that I was probably way too rough on some officials when I was a coach, and it's not an easy job. That's why people don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so a shout out to all the officials out there. We need more of them. You got to have a little bit of a thick skin, but a great way to get started is like summer stuff, fall leagues, AAU, and obviously lower level games during the high school season and middle school season. Um, but I think it's important for fans and parents and players to all remember, like, do it once for yourself and see how easy it is and see how rough it is, or see how quick the game can move, and how quickly you got to make some decisions. And so it's good for a coach to do it because it kind of can it can open up your eyes a little bit, because as coaches we think we're right all the time. And if there's two coaches and both of them think they're right all the time, you got to be wrong some of the time. So it's a good reminder just to have some patience with the stripes.
Yeah, no, and I'm sure you've been a long time coach, so you get to see the other side of it, also doing some officiating. But with the summer stuff, I've done a lot of coaching myself, and I would never get on an official in a summer game. I mean, like I have way more to worry about than the officiating. I'm trying to get my team better. We're trying to work on some things,
Yeah.
like.
I'm not gonna. I mean,
Winning and losing in a summer scrimmage doesn't mean anything.
yeah, and it should be that way. But I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I can remember getting a technical a couple 4 or 5 seasons ago in a summer league
Yeah, I know.
up
Yeah.
at Davenport with a good friend of ours, and
Yes. Yeah.
um, and I don't think he took anything bad by it. And afterwards I felt bad that I got it. But sometimes it's still
It is. You still
a
get caught up.
competitive fire,
Yeah.
and most of the time you're worried about your own players and you want to get kids better, and
Yeah.
sometimes it does become a little bit competitive, and you cross the line and you apologize and you move on.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So Curt, hey, we've been back at this for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the Attack the Rack stuff, kind of rebranded it and got it going again. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling really good, and I got to give obviously you and also Trent a huge thank you for. I mean, you guys have put in a lot of time. You've been super committed. We've been super consistent with our shows the last 2 weeks that we've been kind of rebooted the company. And it starts every Monday morning with I do a live show at 7 a.m. and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, me, you, and Trent are doing a show. Try to post it around 7 o'clock on the channel, and then we're right back at it on Friday recording the podcast for Saturday. So I got to thank, I can't thank you guys enough. I think it's going really, really well. I think the key is we've been consistently posting, we've been sticking to a schedule, and the channel has grown a ton. And we get good traction on our videos. We get some comments, we get some likes, and I mean, there's a long way to go to get where we want it to be, but I can't be more pleased with where we're at after 2 weeks. So
Yeah, after a little winter hiatus.
yeah, which turned into a spring hiatus. And
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think so far?
Yeah, I mean, that's like I said, I think it'll be, I mean, I'll be honest, I think it'll be tough to continue the consistency of it. Well, we'll have to adjust that a little bit, but I do think we're finding a little bit of a groove.
Yeah,
Summertime's probably a good time to try to get back at it a little bit, but I think it's been fun trying to sit around the three of us and chit chat a little bit about sports and getting some comments on things. That is always intriguing,
yeah,
whether it's good or bad. And let's just try to keep it growing.
yeah. No, for sure. And um, as long as we're all having fun, then that's the number one important thing. But yeah, like you mentioned, a couple months here, you're going to be back with your teaching, and the basketball season rolls around, you're coaching. So we're going to have to we'll have to adjust. You're probably not going to be able to do it maybe even a lot of days. And we do have other people that are wanting to get involved. And so maybe that the Attack the Rack daily lineup show, the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday show, maybe that ends up becoming a revolving door of characters too. So
Yeah, definitely.
we'll figure it out. But all right, so hey, that takes us to we're about halfway through the program today. New segment. We're calling it halftime adjustment. Halfway through the program, thinking back on the week that was, Big Mo. Um, anybody, anything, any situations, any stories that you feel like, hey, it's halftime. We got to talk about this. We need an adjustment here.
Hey, you bring that up, and so I've been, I've got a weird schedule. I wake up early. Usually, I would work out in the morning and do some work at a local business, Baja Grill, help them get going in the morning. I haven't been working out this past week because of the officiating.
Well, you've been working out all day long.
Well, so I'm on my feet all day, but I still wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and
Yeah.
now I got like a little extra hour to burn, and I've been watching TV in the morning just to try to relax, stretch before I go out for the day. And you know what? I think we need a reboot of TV sitcoms.
Oh,
And just bring back a couple shows that just deliver a promising message. Not
okay.
at 4:30 in the morning, Curt, there's limited sitcoms on or TV shows.
Yeah.
But I have been I've been a little bit glued to Highway to Heaven.
I remember that show with what was his name? His first name Michael or last name Michael?
Yeah, Michael Landon.
Yeah, he was the dad in Little House on the Prairie as well.
Exactly. Great actor. So he does Highway to Heaven. And there's always like there's always a feel good story to it, kind of a lesson. And I have gotten up this whole week and watched like 2 episodes.
What an inspirational way to start your day.
It's a great story. Usually it's something small, but it's just a feel good, positive lesson or story. And I think we need a little more of that in the world.
I couldn't agree more, Big Mo. Dude, 80s sitcoms and 90s sitcoms. So, I mean, with all the technological advances in today, I still feel like the TV shows and the movies in the 80s and 90s, as far as like just the substance of the show or the film, was so much better than it is now today, with all the even despite with all the technological advances we have.
Yeah.
I
There's
like
so much of it. Obviously, so much today is like the reality stuff, which is
True.
Can be entertaining at times, but I think it also is usually it's entertaining because it's doesn't always portray society very well, maybe, or people very well. So I thought great time to make a halftime adjustment. Let's get a reboot of Highway to Heaven.
I love it.
Let's get something going. There we go.
All right. Well, hey, my adjustment is in the world of sports. It's in the WNBA. The WNBA, all thanks to Caitlin Clark, has really been the story of the summer. There's a player in the league. Her name is Angel Reese. She's got this incredible double-double streak going. League record 15 games now, I think. Well, I believe it was in game 14. Her team was up by 7 points ish. Handful of seconds left. Normally in that situation, and they had the ball, in that situation, you dribble out the clock, you let the game end. Well, Angel Reese was 1 point shy of getting the double-double. She had the rebounds. She had, I believe, 13 rebounds, but she only had 9 points. So I think we need to adjust, go back to adjust our sportsmanship and adjust how we look at the game as a whole, right? It is an unwritten rule that you do not try to score on more points if you're up by multiple possessions. Same thing in football. You're up big in the fourth quarter. What do?
You down it.
Well, or if it's even if there's like 5-6 minutes,
you're not scoring.
You run the ball. You don't pass.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So in this situation, the right thing to do, the classic thing to do, the sportsmanship thing to do is to dribble out the clock. You won the game. So we need to adjust how we're looking at this stuff. So what do? Angel Reese is posting up, calling for the ball. Teammate gives her the ball. She ends up getting fouled, actually, goes to the line, gets her double-double. So let's adjust. Let's get some sportsmanship back here, okay? Let's make an adjustment to get back to some good, solid sportsmanship. And if you're going to get a double-double, make it legit. So that's my
records are record, Curt. So shout out to Angel. The great thing is, you know what? Records are made to be broken.
Well,
so her double streak at some point will come crashing down.
Yeah, so that's my halftime adjustment. But hey, you never know. Caitlin Clark's on a double streak of her own, 4 games in a row. So maybe she can
keep it rolling.
Yeah. So well, hey, all right, let's move on to the second half of the program. That halftime adjustment segment. We're looking for a sponsor. Hit us up. So All-Star Game Tuesday night, Big Mo. All-Star Game Tuesday night, Home Run Derby Monday night for Major League Baseball. Where are you at with this?
Is it sad to say I don't even follow baseball? It's just hard to, I don't even know the players anymore. I think the game at some point the game became too long for me to pay attention. With this too many other things going on. I do think a point where maybe I get in my life where I just turn the game on and I can do other things. But right now I don't have the time for that, or I don't enjoy it enough. So I no clue. Couldn't even tell you. I mean, I used to love watching the Home Run Derby.
Yeah.
Get together with some friends. You make a couple little small time wagers, or you pick who you think is going to win. Even if you draw them out of the hat, you make kind of an evening of it. Yeah. Right now, I think they're trying to do the right things to make it probably enjoyable, but I just don't know enough of the names.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. I don't either. I grew up a huge baseball fan. In fact, the Midsummer Classic was a highlight of the summer. Couldn't wait for the All-Star Game. It was summer, so you'd stay up and watch the game. You didn't have school the next day. And then obviously, too, the night before with the Home Run Derby. But I was even more so into the game itself. I just thought it was incredible when I was a kid.
What does it still the winner still get something to deal with the World Series?
I think they went away from that again, but don't quote me on that. I literally don't even know. But yeah, what you're asking is, yes, they did at one point try to make the game more competitive. The winner of the game that league got home field advantage in
Yeah,
the World Series.
yeah, yeah,
But too, like when we were growing up in the '80s, they didn't need to do something like that. The guy, it was super competitive
yeah,
anyway. So I wonder too, like for me, growing up in the '80s, that was kind of when basketball was, obviously basketball is more of my thing now in football. Growing up, baseball pretty much for everyone was their number one sport. Basketball was just growing. We talked about um, last week's podcast about Larry Bird and Magic Johnson in the '80s growing the game of basketball. So basketball wasn't really even that super popular. I also think one reason that I was so into baseball too is because of collecting baseball cards. So that really connected you to the players. You really got to know the players because of, collecting baseball cards. So, I probably won't even necessarily even watch the game, unfortunately. But I've always wanted to try to get back into baseball, but it's just not the same. I mean, I will say I went back one time and watched like a 1987 Tigers game on YouTube. And the pace of the game, you can totally tell how different the pace of the game is now. I mean, I know they now they got the pitch clock to try to speed it up, but
yeah.
literally the guys they get in the batter's box, they're ready to go. The pitch comes, all right, they maybe step out for a second, they get right back in, and the pace was so much different than it is now.
Yeah.
So
Um, yeah, I can always. I mean, I remember growing up with baseball cards and then entering like creating. There's like the Roto League computer games.
yeah,
Oh, I would spend hours and hours entering data from back of baseball cards.
yeah, and so that's how you got to know the
Oh
players.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
you got to know them all. It didn't matter. Like you just didn't know the Tigers.
Yes.
You got to know the best players. You put everybody into the Roto League, and
Yeah.
you could create a team from like 1977 or 1987, and you just completely learned every player on every team.
Right.
Now I couldn't tell you hardly anybody.
Exactly.
How about our next little topic becomes something we'll do on our show, right? The favorite three. Looking
Yeah.
for a sponsor, right?
Looking
For
for a
the
sponsor for
favorite
the yeah.
favorite three, sponsored by. Could
Yes.
be
Could
you.
be
Could be
you.
you. It says we were just talking about baseball. Kurt, give me your three favorite baseball players growing up.
Honestly, Big Mo, this is pretty easy for me. I'll start with at one point in time, all three of these guys were my favorite player. But there's one of the three that to this day still is actually my favorite player. One of those was Jose Canseco.
Okay.
Uh, uh, Back when he played for the Oakland A's, when he first came up to the big leagues, took the league by storm, just blasting home runs, stealing bases.
Bash brother.
But one of the Bash brothers, exactly. And then another one of my favorite players back then, to this day, there's a handful of guys that have a beautiful swing, but this guy had an incredibly beautiful swing, and his name was Will Clark, first base, San
Lefty?
Francisco. San Francisco Giants. When I was a fan of him, he then also played for the Rangers and a few other teams. But number one, the one that stands the test of time, and that is center fielder, Cincinnati Reds, Eric Davis.
Ooh.
Yes.
Was he a Michigan guy?
No, but
Or
no, they had on that team, they had two Michigan guys.
Larkin? Was Larkin and
Yeah.
Sabo?
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Goggles.
Yeah. So, all right. So, favorite three segment. Looking for a sponsor. Those are my favorite three baseball players growing up. Big Mo, who are yours?
Yeah, like I said, I did not hear. I'm going to be honest. I didn't watch a ton of baseball. Like I didn't love it. I actually played it up until like ninth grade. It just didn't. Never stuck, and I didn't. So I didn't enjoy like watching the game, but I loved the stat part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can. My dad had a huge baseball collection, like from the 40s and 50s, and then we had a bunch with my older brother. We started collecting like We had a bunch of he had some from like a big time era was like 78 tops. I can remember. So you just had I was a big stat guy. I just loved the stat part of it, the number part of it. Um, so I'm going to go with like not my favorite maybe of those times, but just the guys that I always thought were the coolest because they probably had the best stats.
Sure.
I would probably go